You're watching the NWP podcast. You're watching the new one live. You're watching the NWP podcast. You're watching the new one live. You're watching the NWP podcast. You're watching the new one live. You're watching the NWP podcast. You're watching the new one live.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the New Watch. We'll take it from here. I'm Jimmy, and with us, as always, Mr. Tony York.
Hey, good morning, people.
Oh, Tony. How the hell are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
A little bummed out over another mass shooting, but
Another mass murder.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I hate to see it happen, but the backlash that you see on TV is fucking torture.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, it's always sad. Always sad when we have one of these shootings going on and fucking, I don't care if you're in Michigan, I don't care if you're in fucking Florida, Texas. It sucks. And we should definitely be more focused on this is my opinion, but we should definitely be more focused on the mourning of the children that got hurt or killed, and we should be fucking that certain school in particular, even though it's shitty, they should be worried about more security. I mean, everybody always gets off on the wrong foot on these shootings, quote. Um, we all want to figure out how to stop the next one in the next state, but you ain't. The only thing that's gonna fucking subside these things is if we have to have security in our school. It sucks, but that's the way it is now. I mean, it's been going on for fucking a couple decades at least, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't quite get why they can't grasp that all of this fucking coverage has to do with the next one because people are wanting to get their fucking 15 minutes.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. They'll never ever, never ever, never, 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 ever, ever, never ever get rid of guns unless they took every single gun, which they'd be hard pressed to do because some of us have our shit hidden or fucking whatever the fuck, you know. I'm not gonna go into details, but whatever. They'd have to get every gun. They'd have to announce this. Then they'd have to get every gun, and then they'd have to fucking melt them all down or destroy them in some way, shape, or form. The second that news gets out, fucking here comes China, here comes Russia, here comes fucking Spain. Spain can fucking invade us if they wanted to come and fucking invade us. Because we wouldn't have nothing. All we would have is our nukes.
Well, you know, there's always getting guns from Canada and Mexico.
No, yeah.
Mexico anyway. Canada probably have a problem with, but Mexico we could get.
But could you
couple of
imagine it being worldwide news that America's fucking has no more guns? It'd be a shit show.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It'd be fucking wrong. It'd just be nasty.
The getting rid of all the guns is fucking impossible.
Well, yeah, of course. What's up, Scotty? What's up, Sammy?
Morning, guys.
But yeah, no gun control has ever helped any fucking thing.
Nah, the more gun control we get, the worse this shit fucking gets.
Yeah, and really what they're doing is creating more crimes. I mean, okay, here's gun control, right? Simple, old as fucking gun control itself. Felons can't have guns. You ever been convicted of a felon? You can't own a gun. Well, now if that felon wants to protect himself in any other way, he just committed another crime. So what they're doing in the long short of it, instead of me going over 20 different examples, what they're doing is creating more crimes. They're creating more gun crimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
Creating more criminals.
Exactly, yeah. And and then it's gonna go so far as to fucking regular motherfuckers, like you guys listening and like fucking like us, we're gonna become criminals just for owning a gun. And not now, not anytime in the near future, but if we like keep letting things go like this, it's gonna be like that.
It comes down to it. I could live without guns. I really could, but I won't.
Yeah. I'm 35. I've let's just say pulled out my gun, not even used or anything like that. I've pulled out my gun maybe 5 times. Six. Six times. Maybe 6 times in 35 years. I mean, what's the percentages on that, math man? Fucking like nothing, 0.1% of your
Be more
life.
than mine.
But still, nonetheless, you'll never fucking the stay out of the ghettos. don't don't get into law enforcement or federal law enforcement fucking work, and I would almost bet that you'd never fucking pull your gun once in your life. But it's that one fucking time. I told my wife too. My wife said I was crazy the other day. Excuse me, because I put a little fucking one of those fixed blade knives. I had like a little fucking inch and a half one, and I brought it into the shower with me. I always do that. She just so happened to catch me do it and was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're crazy. What do you think is gonna happen?" I'm like, "Shit, probably nothing. But if something does happen, I got a fucking knife right next to me and then a fucking gun in the cupboard." So
That'd
it's
been like, this is for you, bitch, if you're on PMS or something.
yeah, it's like wearing a fucking. I mean, it's like wearing a rubber. Having a gun is like wearing a rubber. Every time you come inside of a bitch, she might not get pregnant, but there's that chance. So we
I was gonna
wear
say,
so we wear condoms.
I really can't agree with that. She might not get pregnant thing because it never worked out that way for me.
Oh yeah, I've never cummed in a lady that not fucking had a baby unless it was fixed.
I'm just kidding.
They fixed her. But nah, but still though, I mean that's what it is, man. You keep your gun on the just in case. Just in case the government wants to fucking try and take away all guns. Just in case somebody wants to break into my house. Just in case
Now,
somebody, whatever.
bear in mind that when I said I could live without guns, that doesn't mean I don't feel a need to have one.
Oh yeah.
Just that in my life, by and large, I have never needed a gun
Yeah.
except when I want to eat or keep a guy in the freaking work parking lot attacking me. Otherwise, no.
Yeah. And Scotty says right there too, you don't need it until you need it. And then you'll wish you fucking had it.
I shot and most likely killed someone. I'm not 100% certain of that. Imagine why they wouldn't move me 100 miles away if it weren't that, but I never did find out for sure. Uh,
I would think if they moved me, I would think that the threat is still alive.
they, the thing is that normally, had I not been working there, I would have never been in that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have a law enforcement job or fucking live in shady situations or whatever the fuck, I mean, you'll probably never ever even have to brandish your weapon, let alone
Employment
fucking.
aside, I would have never set fucking foot in East St. Louis, Illinois, ever.
Yeah. Oh shit! How long until shithead Biden is out of office? He hasn't got long, has he? Oh, should see something change in about 2024.
I was just say 2.5 years probably,
Yeah, at least another solid two. Solid two.
unless the Lord is merciful and takes him out for us. But then we go downhill.
Well, yeah, then Kamala's gonna be in charge of things. Give Kamala the reins, and I could only imagine. Haven't heard too much about Kamala this presidency, though, have we? Or have I not?
I haven't.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, there's the occasional snitty shit you see going around from opponents. As
Yeah.
far as her doing much, I guess she ain't.
Everybody remember that there's a half black lady in office right now, kinda. Oh God, we are such idiots as a fucking whole, as a citizenship, a citizenry. We're fucking just a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I want to make a point right here, right now, about our side in particular and the hypocriticalness of it.
Yeah, please.
Because we're bitching about people who voted for Biden not so much as they voted against Trump. You know, they hated Trump, so they voted for Biden. Well, how much of our side voted for Trump because we hated Hillary?
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, well, my thing is that fucking he, and you'll hear a lot of people say this faggot ass shit, but it's true for me anyway. Fucking, he wasn't a politician. I thought that he might be able to fucking have like political knowledge, hate to see the way that things are going, and fucking come in and try to switch them around. I was like 60% in that boat. The other 40% was still fucking like, oh yeah, he works for fucking Junior Rothschild, and they're the ones that put him in office. But really was fucking hopeful with Trump in the beginning, and then that subsided, and I was just like, yeah, no. This presidential term is brought to us by the fucking Rothschilds and the fucking Rockefellers.
But it still come down to he wasn't Hillary.
Exactly. Exactly, because no matter what, I mean, we've said it thousands of times, and I feel like it's the 100% the truth. The president has zero power. He's really just a face or a figurehead. But they're still individual people, and just like Biden wants to fucking shuck China to the side and shit like that, and the Ukraine and fuck you guys or whatever, you know, Trump Trump could have did the same thing, I guess. I don't know, man. Or Hillary, I mean. She was fucking definitely gunning to get into it with Russia. We could have been the
I,
Ukraine if Hillary was in office.
I don't know.
I don't think it would have got that bad for us, but yeah, who knows? There's still people out there that saying the whole Ukraine thing is a psyop, fucking a fucking news job of bullshit. So who
Yeah,
knows, man?
I don't know. Had Trump been in office, I don't know that this would have actually occurred. Trump had quite a bit better open lines of dialogue with Putin. I mean, maybe Putin was sitting over there thinking, this guy's a fucking idiot. Still
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, right. He thinks I really like him. He's kind of growing on me. My accents are not in order today, guys. Sorry. Knock on wood, I haven't had to pull my gun to take a human life, and I hope the fuck I never have to, but it could happen. That's the thing. It could happen.
I
There's
hope the fuck you never have to as well.
there's always that fucking chance. And if you guys ever and get into a situation, anybody listening later, whatever, just remember that, you know, it's your life or somebody else's.
Right now, coming back to this most recent school shooting,
Hmm.
they're showing various ideas for security, if you will. And they were showing a camera type security system that has firearm recognition in it.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this and I'm like, what the fuck good does that do if you don't got anybody there to shoot back?
You still gotta have armed people there. And the school like police liaison having one person there, I think that that's kind of Look,
I guarantee you, the mass majority of them kids in that school can tell you what a fucking gun was.
we're in a very, very much more fucking stupider time. People are more independent than they were in the 50s to an extent. You know, but fucking in the to the extent of I could be a girl if I want to, even though I was born a boy, that type of shit. But fucking the herd mentality is just fucking crazy right now.
Hey,
And
Mikey.
what's up, Oz?
You
The
know,
the herd mentality is crazy right now. So fucking it's just I mean, I don't know. Somebody sees something that they like on fucking the news or something like that and their Facebook friends are fucking the same political view as them, then they're the new hot thing for the fucking day. That's how it is. Everybody just
I,
wants to be the new hot thing.
they went to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's a
The
better way to put it.
One of the best thoughts flashed through my head here earlier this morning was, I wonder, first off, why this is a recent, because it is really recent.
What?
But
The shooting things?
school shootings, yes.
I mean, recent within the past 20 years, yeah.
I wonder what would have happened had an armed person come into my fifth grade classroom where there was 8 boys that had brought their fucking deer rifles in there.
Yeah, right. Well, remember, look at this though. Remember the fucking Florida shooting? The one where they had those kid actors up on stage and all that shit?
Yeah.
Remember that they fucking caught that guy and he was like unconscious when they caught him, almost like he was knocked out. And there was reports of fucking multiple shooters. And then there was even a report of somebody that was in fucking blacked out tactical gear. And that kid was wearing like a t-shirt and jeans or some shit like that. But you remember all those fucking reports?
Vaguely.
Why is it that most, but you do know that what I was talking about, kind of, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was common in Vegas.
The Vegas thing, yes. But it's just weird to me how in some of these shootings that'll happen. Some won't, but it's weird to me that some of them, like Columbine, that was definitely them two kids. But I don't know, man. The whole multiple shooter thing, the whole using guns as leverage, the obvious fact I feel like at this point that our politicians can give a fuck about you or me. They don't care about the people. They care about their pockets and their power, their pee-pee.
I
That's all
see
they.
where that supermarket shooting in New York, there's somebody back on the bandwagon of suing Remington because that kid had a bushmaster.
Oh Jesus Christ! It's just see,
I
presidents.
would.
A president
You know,
has been set. Yeah, why not? If I could make a few million bucks, shit.
them cocksuckers folded once. Why not write me a goddamn check?
Sign me up. Sign me up. Well, damn, we only got four. I was hoping that we had a couple more, few more motherfuckers in here, but it's all right. Fuck it. I'm happy with who we got right now. I'm gonna speaking of that, I'm gonna play this fucking Black Rifle Coffee thing. Now this is some guy on YouTube. Fuck if I know his name. But apparently, anyway, everybody knows Black Rifle had that little fucking minor tiff, and they lost a few fucking 100,000 customers because of the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Basically, Kyle Rittenhouse took a picture with a Black Rifle a Black Rifle T-shirt on, and they disavowed him immediately. Well, now they're getting sued by one of their top shareholders. They've been public now, I guess, for a while. I didn't know they weren't a public company. I just don't buy stocks like that. But apparently they're a public company now, or they've been a public company. And one of their highest stockholders is suing them um, pretty much for saying that their conservative base of fans, he would pay to get rid of them, or their customers. He would pay to get rid of them and they don't need racists and shit like that around. Pretty much kind of just like nudging the elbow that all conservatives are fucking racist. I don't know. Let's listen to the thing here real quick, and then you can tell me what you think.
God, I don't want to.
Well, click on me. It's 11-minute video, and I've already fast forwarded to like 8 minutes, so it's almost over. But you got to click on me to hear it, Tone, unless you want to wait.
Doing that.
Okay, I was just letting you know.
Awarded himself 2,106,692 shares of Black Rifle common units by filing an exempt registration statement, which made him about $42 million. They then go on to point out that on April 19th, Evan awarded himself more shares, 2 million more shares, and this ultimately resulted in him getting an additional $47 million. 1791 claims this tactic was fraudulent conduct on the part of Evan Hafer and potentially others within the company. 1791 goes on to state in the letter that just in case you hadn't noticed, Mr. Hafer, Black Rifle lost $4.8 billion in value from $7.3 billion down to $2.5 billion over the 3 months period that you made tens of millions off your own stock. 1791 demanded in the letter that the company prepare an action plan to address the serious violations of Black Rifle's own conflict of interest. And then they close the letter by stating, "What I am about to say may seem a bit harsh, Mr. Hafer, but is said with some authority. If you don't plan on responding to my letter and or promptly preparing an action plan, then I believe it's best you wind down Black Rifle Coffee, return what public money is left on the company's balance sheet, and retreat to whatever bunker you came out of to do what you do best. Donate money to the Democratic Party and smear conservatives as racist. The irreparable damage I believe your greed likely caused shareholders will never be repaid. We and veterans like my father, former customers, and shareholders must hold you accountable for any further exploitation of Americans for your personal gain. Yours very truly, Jonathan Wallentine." I looked up the author of this letter and
So that was the gist of it without having to have you go through 11 minutes of bullshit. And it is the YouTube channel called The Armed Space Scholar. Armed Scholar. So if you want to watch the whole video, it fucking just came out the other day. But let me start off with this. Can you be a liberal and maybe not openly, but just like for yourself, still support the Second Amendment or like guns?
Of course you can.
So you could still be out there running around in your helicopter and going into the airborne rangers, and you can still go out and own a 50 cal, and you could still be fucking pro-democratic party, pro-liberal. So
The thing
that
that
just seems like what this is. It just seems like it's a bunch of liberals that fucking got together and made a fucking company.
the thing is what you really like is money.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, for sure. Now, and then, I mean, the whole stock thing is kind of shady. You know how,
Kinda.
yeah, it's. I'm trying to give these guys the benefit of the doubt because listen, me and Tony were talking about this before, you guys, just so you know, full disclosure. But listen, I really used to like their fucking like I used to laugh at their shit. I used to watch the like on YouTube. It was like veterans watch fucking a sniper movie or a horror movie or something like that, and they react to it as veterans or whatever. Like I used to
Yeah,
watch that shit.
Matt Best fucking awesome.
Yeah, I thought he was hilarious
It
too.
was.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Him
I
and
thought
him
that
and
they
Evan are.
actually
Go ahead.
I actually thought that they had separated ways for a while, and then he just came back on doing Black Rifle stuff within the past like 6 months or a year.
Well, you got to think that's because all their main guys are fucking ridiculously, handsomely rich by now. So they don't really have to make too many appearances or be around too much. But I don't know. Can I fault everybody? Do we hate Crispy? You know, the black guy that doesn't have the leg. Do we hate him now too? Do we hate everybody affiliated with fucking Black Rifle Coffee? I don't necessarily.
No,
I'm not gonna give them any fucking money or trust.
Doesn't say I ain't buying the shit,
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm
but
not.
I wasn't going to buy it in the first place. It's too fucking much money.
Now, when they came out and they did the whole like hating on fucking or disavowing Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you and just say that I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. I didn't think that it was a big deal. Like, I
I
thought what you were saying. They're a company. They can't go and line themselves up with somebody and risk losing money, which is what you
well,
would do if you had principles, I guess. But
they when they have stockholders, they almost can't have principal. It's their job to make those stockholders money. The coffee part of it is now secondary.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just putting the news out there. They're trying to say now that fucking in the beginning of that I didn't play, and I'm not going back the whole. I had my timestamp and you guys heard it, but pretty much it was like they're bad for the Second Amendment people that are they're bad for Second Amendment advocates and all that shit. They'll turn on you in a dime for a dime, that type of shit. So just keep your eyes and ears open, people. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Point out the bullshit. You do with it what you will.
They put out funny ads, I'll watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fucking. When I was younger, catch me 15 years ago, I may have had some hate in my heart, but I'm not a fucking hateful I don't know. I guess in my growing up, I learned how to turn the other cheek and not give a fuck
You're
about shit or whatever.
you're not a hateful person. You certainly hide that shit fucking well.
Well, I'm an angry person. I'm an angry person for sure, but I get over things very quickly. I don't hold grudges anymore. Grudges are a bad thing. They could be bad for you, just as bad for you as they are for the person you got a grudge against. So it's not worth it.
Probably
Uh,
a good thing there because the show may not have survived had you held any grudges.
oh yeah, or you, if you held any grudges. Fucking Jimmy wants to leave. I'll show him. We'll never do this shit again. I can't wait for the day that Jimmy comes back so I could tell him no.
That ain't in my nature.
I know. So I like it. Um, that's the only way gun control would work if it was globally wiped off the face of the earth. Yeah, that was what Shawnee was
To read
saying.
his earlier comment,
Read his earlier
his
comment.
earlier comment, one right before that.
I woke up this morning, Punnery. I woke up this morning and all my guns were gone, and nobody knows where they are, and everything used to make them vanish while the world was asleep. Oh wait, that's right. The only way gun control would work is if it was globally wiped off the face of the earth and from human memory. Yeah, because that is true. People can fucking still fold steel together and heat treat it and fucking make their own fucking shit. Those AK kids too. If you have the machinery to put together a flat AK receiver, you could build guns for sure. You could make anything. Fuck.
They were making guns and barrels and shit when they had just fucking campfire.
But that's right though. You have to erase people's memory as well. You can't just destroy all the fucking guns.
Now, I will give them credit on the Today Show. Hadn't jumped on the gun control bandwagon yet,
It's coming.
but there's that. We have to do something. What can we do? That's all leading up to.
It always does. And right now, the reason why I argue the reason why they don't jump on it immediately like they have in the past is because in the past they've been accused of dancing on children's graves to fucking get their point across.
So, how many keggers do you think was opened up in Washington when
Keggers?
that news broke? Yeah, keggers.
Oh,
Fucking partying.
please. They were popping bottles of Cristal in the fucking war room and all types of shit. Like, it's time
Sorry,
to...
keggers was a bad choice given people.
Yeah, they were going in their aquariums and squeezing out fucking fish eggs from live fish and shit like that. So you know how these monsters get down.
Come here, Nemo.
Come here, I'm hungry. I don't have any babies, so I need yours. Um,
And you drag Hillary in. God damn.
from what I
That is
understand,
actually a good imitation, too.
yeah, I actually got the witchiness down perfect. Oz was saying, from what he understands, the murderer was confronted and was involved in a gunfight outside of the school. Somehow he got in and barricaded himself in the classroom where he started shooting.
Now, I haven't heard that, but I haven't been keeping super close attention to it except for what was on the news this morning.
Well, yeah,
And
see,
what I've seen so far is that the officer, the chief of the police there, whoever the hell he was, uh, the law officer in charge of the investigation, said that this guy was wearing chest rig. There's no evidence of plate. They're saying he had body armor. There was nothing mentioned about anything except he crashed and disabled the vehicle.
yeah, see, that's hard to call for me because I want to say every time they're murdered, it's suspicious. Like the Columbine kids, they lived, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought they did too. But anyway, it was just weird because the
Oh, wait a
fucking
minute. Columbine was in Missouri, right?
this is in Columbine, man. I don't know where the fuck that's at. You know how long ago that shit was? It's like asking me to recall an episode of Beavis and Butthead.
I know that the left has to be dancing in the aisles if this happened in Texas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cause they're like, you see what your pro-gun fucking attitudes did to the children? Fucking makes me
Uh,
sick even like mimicking that.
yeah, I sick of thinking shit too. Uh, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. The thing is though, is that okay, so we say apathy has brought us to this situation, to the state of affairs that America's in right now. But I would almost say that apathy to an extent or in a way is necessary. Apathy in in the way of not showing any emotion, just using
Well,
logic when it comes to situation, not giving a
now
fuck about anybody that's like what's going on. Just use straight logic, straight fact, and get right to the fucking meat and potatoes of the shit.
let me clarify something on that whole apathy thing that I was harping on years ago.
Hmm.
I think that the apathy eased up a lot to get Trump in office.
Yes, yes, because
Then,
people got up and voted.
then when he was in office, the apathy kind of came back. Got in there, we're not worried about stuff, and then Trump did a couple of stupid fucking things, but uh, we are not as apathetic as we were 15 or 20 years ago. People are at least looking.
Yeah, that's true. And people looking does have some value in it because there's a possibility that one of them might get up and do something about it. But let me ask you this, joking and serious. If I'm fucking apathetic, if I'm filled of apathy and I'm watching the news and this shit happens and then they go all anti-gun and everything like that, and I'm apathetic now in this point, and I just go meh. What's the difference of that and not being apathetic and sitting on that same couch watching that same news thing and then just saying, God damn it, then still remaining on the couch? So, I mean, just because we lost apathy doesn't necessarily mean the Trump thing, people lost apathy and got up and did something about it. They stopped not giving a fuck about everything and were like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to let this fucking crazy bitch lead us into a hell war with fucking Russia.
The thing is that the sitting on the couch and watching it is still apathetic. If you're not doing something.
Well, yeah, but I look at apathy as caring.
Apathy is indifferent.
No, I'm saying the lack of apathy. If we stopped having apathy, that means that we care.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we go from not giving a fuck to giving a fuck,
Let me ask you this:
but
How
still not
worried would
doing
you
shit.
have been? Let
What?
me ask you this: How worried would you have been had this happened in, say, Trump's third year,
What happened?
the
Um,
school shooting?
one did happen with Trump, didn't it? Wasn't that Florida one with Trump? Oh no, was that Obama? No, that was Trump, wasn't it?
Hell, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Trump. But anyway,
Had it
maybe
had
it
this
was
happened,
in the middle of election or something. Maybe I don't know.
had this happened with Trump, I'd have been nervous as hell, as he's a fucking loose kid.
Oh yeah, he don't know what to do. If everybody's in his ear telling him that the popular thing to do is to fucking make a magazine restriction or something like that, or whatever the fuck they're gonna do from this, I don't even know. Tony, you just told me about this today, so I have no idea what's even fucking going on.
According to the law enforcement officer in charge, they hadn't identified what guns he had used, it handgun, rifle.
Yeah.
Of course, there's people on the internet saying that he had went and bought two ARs on his 18th birthday. I'm
Mm.
like, wait a minute, this kid's unemployed and flunked school. How the fuck did he get the money to buy a couple of ARs?
Yeah, that's at least I would say bottom of the barrel ARs. He's still gonna spend about like fucking $1,000 on two ARs. I don't even. Do they even make $500 ARs anymore?
Not that I know of,
Yeah,
but
that
I don't.
was at
I,
least $1,400.
shit, I was thinking it was going to be a grand a pop.
Well, yeah, if he got some fucking decent ARs, yeah.
Uh, so it's hard. You have to sit through a lot of bullshit and try to decipher what's actually happened. So because of being timely, I wanted to talk about it some today, but not much because too many facts you don't know. Fuck, we're still wanting to get facts from Vegas.
Shit, will never. That'll never happen.
I don't know. There's a lot pointing to suspicious governmental involvement possibilities with the Vegas thing. I mean, they had this kid's fucking school history the next fucking day.
Yeah, yeah.
He had got into a fight, killed his grandma. All that shit was news.
And they.
A couple months after Vegas, you heard that that guy woke up in the night with severe headaches and screaming.
Yeah, and then they let it slip out he was a CIA, and then he's. Oh no, he wasn't a CIA. He was affiliated somehow with. Or something like yeah. They let too much information slip to let out any new information. So they're like, yeah, fuck it,
That
just forget about him,
that
guys.
that first fucking captain on the scene on one of the very first interviews they gave or press conferences they gave, he let out a bunch of shit, and he was never seen again. I wish I could remember that whole thing, but there's so much fucking shit that goes through. I don't keep a lot of that shit in my memory. But I remember this fucker was more hated than David Clark for law enforcement for a while.
Yeah, no shit. But I mean, even that information, I don't know, man. I mean, this is like the paranoid part of me, but I wouldn't even be surprised if the ATF walked in there and was like, "Where's the gun that was used?" And then they show him a little fucking pistol or an AR or something like. Let's use this one. He just pulls out a fucking rifle from behind his back. This one looks better.
Call on the phone to the White House. What should we pin this on?
Yeah.
Well, not
High high capacity
double
handgun,
barrel.
high capacity handguns. I think we stopped that one for like a month, so let's do that one. Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, I don't know. I can't. That's why you were the one that informed me of this today, and not the news, because I don't even pay attention to that bullshit anymore. I'm not telling
Oh, I
people to
did.
stop watching the news because I mean it is good to know the misinformation, but shit,
Well,
it's all misinformation.
it's the best way I can think of to keep track of what the other side's thinking.
Yeah, because you could bet your bottom fucking dollar that they're sitting there watching the news, taking notes, fucking
They got them on the fucking phone.
talking points. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not an app for like liberal talking points yet. It ain't conservative because we got some crazy fucks on our side too. We have
Yes.
our fair share of extremists.
Our extremists though are nuts because, they don't, the left is good about putting it into a perspective that somebody who isn't fairly right of center may not catch.
Yeah,
So again, with the words, man, these guys are better at it.
and our side is more independent, freedom based. So I could see that catching a few psychopaths along there.
And when
Go-
we get somebody who's a nutcase, they're a fucking beauty.
Oh yeah, they're fucking yeah, beyond a QAnon and shit. They're like yeah, they're crazy. That's fucking yeah. But I mean, still, nonetheless though, we both yeah. I'm surprised there's not an app for that.
You
Shit
ought
that
to
they
make
could
one.
shit they could bring up at work. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We should get right on that after the show.
Trump is a. We'll start with the rapist part. We'll just do every single conservative down the line and say they're a rapist. Trump is a rapist. Reagan was a rapist. Bush, rapist.
Yeah, you look at the Trump and the porn star. She told him no a year and a half after.
Yeah, but then listen, who got sued though, and who fucking had to pay Trump $300,000? So that shit didn't work out too good for the bitch because she got sued for fucking making false statements and had to pay Trump $300,000 of money that this ex porn star probably didn't have.
I wonder if she took it out in skillcraft.
Right. If I was a video game, I put all my skill points in mouth. But yeah, so fucking, I don't know, man. I don't know. The world is
No,
shit.
I don't ever want to come across as seeming indifferent to the tragedy of these kids dying
Oh
because
yeah,
that's not the case.
yeah. I hope that's not taken like that.
My, shall we say, venom on these deals is what the other side is going to use the deaths of these children for. And
Yeah.
it's always some shit that isn't going to make a fucking bit of difference.
No, like I said, it's gonna be fucking capacity thing or
You
fucking
want to
something stupid.
you want to fucking cut down on the number of kids that are killed in schools? Put armed defenders in the fucking schools.
Yeah, and I mean it sounds shitty, but it's the times change, and it's the times we're living in right now.
Yes, we have created this vast melting pot of lunacy,
Because I'll tell you
and
what,
now we're reaping those rewards. So we need to do something to effectively defend our children.
and from what I hear, your fucking school days was prime for a school shooter. All you guys are sitting in your classroom, and then Timmy walks in last. All your hunting rifles are in the closet behind the teacher's desk, and this motherfucker hasn't put his in yet because he just walks in. And it's
You
time
know,
to kill 10 people with this 10 round box magazine or so. You know what I mean?
you know, I was thinking about that this morning, and I said, when I thought about all the rifles standing in the corner, it never dawned on me to think of whether the kids actually unloaded them before they took them into the school or not. So I honestly don't know. I assume they did.
I would assume that too, even though I wasn't even thought of at that time period. But I would assume that there were slight, at least some safety measures taken into it. But I don't know. But my point is though, is that kids If there was a fantastic, great time for kids to start shooting people, it would have been around those days. But you never heard about that shit because kids never wanted to fucking kill people. You got to think, man. People are willing to throw their entire life away to be famous for your, like you said, they're 15. So
Yeah.
we're in that era now where a fucking kid's a fucking nerd, he gets dumped on in school, and instead of fucking growing up to become an accountant or fucking something like that, like they did in the 50s, he's gonna fucking go and shoot everybody up so like they'll remember my name now or so, some faggot
Uh,
shit.
I got to say that the kids back then, these guys that were bringing their guns to school, and there was one that was a girl, but they knew how to handle a gun. They weren't unsafe. They weren't even remotely unsafe. There might have been some that had issues with trigger discipline, but I couldn't swear to that.
Well, yeah, but that's not my point though. This kid fucking killed what, 20 people, shot 20, hurt 20 people at least, something like
Yeah.
that. He knew how to use a gun. That's not my
Well,
point. My point is that the fucking mind state of these fucking bitch ass kids has changed dramatically. When kids had the opportunity to shoot up schools by being able to bring their gun to school without even having a question asked or anything like that, them kids back then didn't have that in their mind that they wanted to shoot up the fucking school. They didn't
piss no.
they didn't have it in their mind that they wanted to kill everybody and all that. But for some reason, from the fucking 90s upwards, well, I'm sure there was school shootings before the 90s, but since it's been popularized, now
Well,
now it's a big issue.
the
So
very
is
first,
so hold on one second, just let me finish this one point. My point is that is gun control gonna help anything, or is fucking working on these kids, should that be our fucking our goal?
well, it should be, but there's not the huge stake in parental responsibility that there used to be.
Well, yeah, I mean nowadays
Some,
if your fucking daughter tells you that it wants to be a boy, you're a fucking racist if you tell it that it can't be, or whatever ridiculous shit. You're a transphobic, is it? Whatever,
I,
whatever.
I want to clarify something I said earlier about the guns in the corner at school.
Yeah.
I implied that they were deer rifles, which would not be the case because deer season, these kids wouldn't be at school. They would be out hunting. But, squirrel season is mostly what it was, and they were shotguns and 22.
Both of
It
them you can
was.
still do damage with, man, especially to a kid.
Well, yeah, but, I made it sound like I was talking about a bunch of fucking scoped 700 standing in the corner, and that ain't what it was.
Well, see, if you had a fucking crazy ass school shooter walk in the building, right, and you're a little kid, would you rather see them with a fucking shotgun that they could hit you right here, or a hunting rifle where it's more than likely what, bolt action or something like that back then in them days?
I have no preference.
Yeah, I don't want to get shot with nothing. Don't get me wrong, but
That's right.
I feel like the ones with the shotguns and the 22s will probably have more accuracy and
Hey,
fucking.
my Remington semi-auto 30-06 from 1961.
Oh well, then they could. Hey, oh that would that would have did some shit. But yeah, man. I mean, my whole point is though is that the government, the politicians, the people that care about these kids are all focused on the wrong thing. And the fact that we can't even tell our kids, no, this is what reality is, this is what your fucking delusions are, without being bad people in society's eyes nowadays. We need to be able to fucking tell these kids that they ain't shit no more. It sounds bad, but it's, you know,
Well, now,
oh,
the talking heads that are uh, crying about how much they care about the children and shit like that, I think they honestly, well, they probably care a little, as any person would. Uh, they more care about how to use their advantage.
I think the exact I think the same thing you think on the second thing, but caring about the kids, I disagree totally. I'm
I don't mean that. I mean just as anybody care about kids, murder kids.
I believe that they're so jaded to this and that it's just a part of the job that it's just numbers.
And that may be true
I
too.
would I would more go with the line of thinking of, oh, some fucking kids died. Well, what gun did they use and how can we spin this to make sure that we could kind of keep the whole gun control issue in the fucking light.
You notice that the whole uh, assault style rifle thing had kind of taken the back burner for the past couple months.
Well, yeah, look what the last comment. Who is that? Oz. Look what Oz says. Somehow a ghost gun will enter the picture. Because that's the new fucking bad guy. Ghost
Yeah.
guns. Then fucking. Then they were working on high capacity handguns for a little bit. That was the whole like Oxford shooter in Michigan. They were working on high capacity handguns and then the locking up your firearms and the I forgot what the mental problem part of it was, but there was something too with that shit. But
Hey,
none of this is gonna
enter-
help.
entertain the peons for a minute. I got to refill my coffee.
I got you. I actually, you guys want to hear my manifesto? I started working on it. No, I'm just joking. Listening to Vice President Harris say we have to do something when she's been the border czar for countless months is as genuine as walking into an AA meeting with a foam dome loaded up to top with two tall boys. Yeah, that that'd be triggering to some of them guys sitting there, huh? Yeah, man. I don't know. You guys already really kind of know how I feel about shit. Fucking strict. The kids ain't shit. They're dumb. They need to be taught and told what to do. They need to be pointed in a direction. You can't just shit out a kid and wait for it to be 18 and then fucking hope that it's going to be good. You have
Yeah,
to
and
fucking
setting a fucking video camera or a video monitor in front of it so it can be occupied ain't a good plan neither.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't want no. It ain't no sob story or no sympathy. You guys should know that by now. I don't give a fuck about nothing. But you know, I had somewhat of an abuse, fucking like teenage childhood type shit. You know,
Yes,
fucking
Mikey, I did.
with the whole like group home thing and shit. And that would be something where you would think someone would grow up to be a fucking psychopath and all that other shit or criminal or fucking whatever. But I kind of, I'm glad that I went through that because my grandma was old. My grandfather was always dead. My grandma was old. They couldn't like raise me up anymore like they did when I was a kid. Perfect.
Well, you had became a threat too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. He grabbed the
I was
spoon.
as,
He grabbed the spoon from me. I don't know what's next.
as I was walking out the door, I heard you say, "Want to hear my manifesto?" And yeah, I want to hear that shit. I want to start working on my fucking exit strategy.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm glad that I had it. I'm think that people should have it rough when they're growing up. I think that the proper amount of physical abuse, you know, spanking your kids, knowing that
First
when
off,
the stove is hot it burns.
that is not abuse.
No, I know that, but it's considered that nowadays.
You know, and what I was going to say when you first started talking about that was that I really think that the shitty type childhood stuff, to a point, makes you a much more strong and well-rounded adult.
For sure.
Now,
Yeah.
where dads abuse their daughters sexually,
That's
not so much.
That's not what I mean.
But you have to fucking draw a specific line, or people will think you mean anything.
No, yeah, but I mean, as fucked up within reason as you could make your kid will probably help it.
Thing is the one of the most important things I tried to teach my kids that they were owed fucking nothing.
Well, that's a great lesson to start with. No, all joking aside, that's a great lesson to start with, and I wish that just half of these fucking millennials coming up had that shit, or
Uh,
Zoomers, or whatever the fuck.
when they started getting old enough to do stuff, where they could go out, deliver papers or shit like that. I'm like, if you want things like the latest, greatest, whatever you like, you have to work for it because me and your mother cannot afford to buy stuff like that for all of you.
Yeah. Well, I was 12 years old, 13 or 12 years old the first time I bought my first little Nokia fucking thick ass cell phone for like $100. Nobody was buying me anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the people that get that lesson in life immediately is, I don't know.
How many
I wish that we all would have had that because we wouldn't have all of these fucking I identify as a tractor running around nowadays.
how many of them though you think took to stealing from that same upbringing?
What do you mean?
Instead of working to get something
Oh
because they're not
yeah.
owed anything, they just go take it.
Yeah. But
You know,
that's
which that's one of the things that, and I might be discoloring my prick image here, but that's one of the things that I had to really consider with things I was trying to teach my kid. You
no,
know,
but you're
you
right. You're right.
you only can go so far before you turn them into something that you don't want them to be.
Yeah, I mean you don't want your kid to be a complete callous. You don't want them to be like cold and indifferent to everything either.
Oh,
I
I
mean there's
was
a line. What?
when my kids were little, I was pretty affectionate to the little one. Now as they got a little bit older, I tried to draw away from them because I didn't want them running to daddy whenever they had issues.
No. I've
I wanted them to solve their issues.
and I've made it a point that all the fucking kids ever in my life has had to go to the woman. Now this might sound fucked up, but here's my reasoning, right? And this is all boys, by the way. You're used to raising up girls. I'm used to raising up boys, even down to the grandkid. So I'm used to boys. And when you're raising a boy, you go fucking tell you go tell your mom, you go tell your grandma, you go tell fucking Miss Lady, you go tell her about your crybaby shit. I don't want to fucking hear about it because fucking, and that lesson's gonna be, men don't fucking whine, men don't cry, they gotta take shit and let it roll off their back. I've specifically, every time you want to cry, you go tell mom about that shit.
My daughters would come to me with the crying thing, and I'd want to find the cause and kill it.
Yeah, oh, that's the
But,
thing. Daughters are completely different.
but
Daughters are
you know,
different.
my thing, and I've said this numerous times, probably to the point of ad nauseum, but is my duty as a father to these four girls was to make them functional adults.
Right.
Now at what level they want to function at, that's their choice. But I have to make them be able to go out and survive on their own.
Yeah, got to give you the tools to get there. Got to
And
give you the tools to get there.
one of the things we had always harped on was the importance of blood. Your family is your family. Nobody else is in that circle. You
Uh,
should always be able to rely on your family.
that's good to have for them as they become older and adults and then try to pass that lesson on. That's a very good lesson to have, but in my experience, your family isn't always necessarily tied to you by blood.
Well, that's true, and that is a mistake on my part because of the way I was raised. But and I know they've caught on to that because they're all married kids.
Right, yeah.
But the thing that I was trying to get drilled into their head, probably the most important lesson I wanted to get there was that you don't fuck your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't mean that in sexual intercourse. I mean you don't screw over your family.
Well, both ways. Both ways. They're good. Don't do either.
Well, you know, we got to be careful. We do hail from Arkansas in the past.
Oh, so you're cool with the first one, not the second one.
Cooler. Not so much.
Lackadaisical. Laid back.
It depends. You know, we want some branches in the tree.
Yeah.
Uh, but,
Not every boyfriend could be a cousin.
yeah, right.
Rule number one.
But as a father, this is stuff I had thought about holding my newborn first daughter in my arms while listening to Ozzy cranked on the stereo. You know, you're looking at this brand new baby that you have to be there for, or she'll be dead. You know, and you're trying to think of what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know, I'm 20. I got no fucking clue.
What were the fuck were you what were you trying? Were you trying to put this kid to sleep while listening to Ozzy?
You know,
or was
now,
it...
now, and this is absolutely fucking no bullshit. This kid, from probably a couple months old until she was an adult, you could put on Ozzy and crank it, and she would go to sleep.
Like what? I'm going through changes.
No, like Diary of a Madman, or that. The first album was the one because that's what was out when she was born. Now, I don't think Diary had come out yet. It might have. But we had one of those TV consoles that had the stereo built into it with 15-inch speakers that would just thump. And I wouldn't crank it, you know, to 10 and put her in front of a little bitty one to, you know, emphasize notes. But I would never swat them like they were my own kids. I would whoop my kids.
Nah.
They were going to understand it, no me. With the fucking period at the end of it. Not so much. Some of the things that I'm recalled on, a lot of it is wrapped around my oldest daughter's infancy because we were focused on her specifically because she was the only one.
Yeah.
So, you know, she gets up, she's starting to try to walk at 9 months old, which is extremely early, and I'm thinking, that's my kid. Or like when she bit my toe and I smacked her across the mouth and knocked her flat just out of reaction. You know, shit like that.
Took two of her
And
baby
then
teeth with her.
No, the teeth were still in the toe. The other kids, I don't have those thoughts because I wasn't there. I was taking care of the older one. You know, and my old lady did the most of the taking care of the kids anyway. I did. I worked. I'm a guy, that ain't a job.
Yeah.
But I have the most memories of the youngest, or the oldest. And then there's a whole track thing. You know, these girls have no fucking idea how much I hated track.
Track?
Yeah.
Like track
Like
and
track
field?
Yes. I fucking hated it. Because I hated running. I mean, that was something they used for punishment down in Missouri.
Yeah,
You got
take some laps.
You take laps the whole fucking PE class. And that's a job for a healthy guy. And I was one with freaking pulmonary stenosis. It was really tough.
Damn.
So as I grew up, I hated running. And all four of my daughters fucking ran. They didn't get that shit from me.
That's because they go to sleep listening to fucking Ozzy shit. Dad, I'm tired. They fucking Mr. Crowley. Go to sleep. That's why they were fucking running.
But the thing is that I went to as many of their track meets as I could, even though I really did not like it at all. I was proud of them for doing it, but they have no idea how much I hated it.
Oh, yeah.
Not them doing it, the sport itself.
Well, yeah. I mean, but yeah, you
My
don't
number,
tell them like, yeah. By the way, I hate what you're doing.
my number 3 was absolutely fucking gifted.
What'd they do? Were they just runners, or did they actually do like discus, javelin? Did they do shit like that? What'd they do?
It was mostly running, leastwise until the number 3 got into college. Then she did some strange running stuff, but it's always about running.
Strange run? Oh, probably like pass the baton type shit, that kind of shit.
No. They did that. They started at that. They were a fucking team in themselves. There's one. There's one record at the school that's posted on the walls that never be broke because they changed the length of the event the year after. Went from 400 yards to 400 meters. And my 4 girls are the record holders because they were all on that relay. And my number 3 again, she's got records in almost all distance stuff at school here and at Monmouth College too. And the little shit, she got there, she broke the records, and she was fucking done with college too. She's like scared to death because her mom made her call me and ask me if it was okay for her to not go back to college because she didn't want to do it anymore. She wanted to get married. I don't care. That's your choice. You're a fucking adult now. She thought I was going to be mad at her. That I find it more annoying that you just went there long enough to break the damn records. After that, you weren't interested anymore. Now she was doing shit like what do they call it, triple jump, and there was some sort of staged running event where they had to jump shit and run through water and I don't know, weird collegiate shit. Anyway, where do we want to go now?
You've ruined any segue that I've had. I'm just joking. Tell me if you heard this one and where you heard it from. A soldier always carried a Bible next to his heart. Every battle he was in, he religiously had that Bible against his heart. One day he got shot in the chest, and the soldier, he felt the punch in his chest, looked down, grabbed his Bible out of his shirt, looked in it, and saw that the bullet was lodged in the middle of the Bible. If only that soldier had a Bible in front of his face. Nothing?
Well, up until the face part, I heard I had actually seen that. No, it wasn't a triathlon, Mike. It was something else. It was some fairly new event. And I'd have to ask her what the hell they called it.
But it was different events throughout the whole thing.
No, it was.
That it wasn't a triathlon.
You had to perform this run while doing different obstacles.
Oh, so while you were doing something, you had to be running?
Yes.
Like running and making a sandwich?
Well, I don't think that.
running and ironing a shirt. A whole bunch of woman activities, but you gotta be running and cooking dinner. I'm not talking shit about your kids. I'm just saying that'd be funny. I don't know, man. Where do we go from here?
Well, I don't know.
I was gonna watch the talking about school and girls and shit. I was gonna talk about that Manson rape documentary, or apparently he's a rapist and a pedophile or whatever. But it
Which
was
means,
Maryland. Um, but it was just so you know who that is, right?
yeah,
The beautiful people.
people, the beautiful people.
Yeah. But yeah, that's actually one that I like to listen to that when I put.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Hey, them are my two favorite Marilyn Manson songs, by the way. So yeah, Tony got me.
I,
Um,
I actually love that cover of Sweet Dreams.
yeah, it's fucking creepy and it's fucking great and it's I love it.
It's
But
like
huh?
a light bulb goes off in your head. What the fuck she meant when she was talking?
When she was
You know,
talking,
when
what?
Annie Lennox did that song, you get what she was going for when Manson did it.
Oh, fucking a murder house.
Maybe
um,
anything interesting along the lines of firearm stuff. Me
mm,
neither.
yeah, nothing. But yeah, but anyway, I was watching that and it fucking I guess that I stopped watching it by the way. I couldn't watch the whole thing. But the lady Evan Wood or whatever the fuck, which is Evan, I always thought Evan was a boy name, but anyway, Evan Wood is the one that was suing him and all that shit. Apparently there was like audio of him fucking her in a song that she didn't know about, but they were in a consensual relationship for years.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, this thing it did like the covered there was the Phoenix statute which changed the statute of limitations in California. But I mean, first of all, just diving into that, who was arguing that it shouldn't be forever? Like who was arguing that there should be like only like a yeah, fucking after 2 years it's fucking you didn't rape her anymore.
That was the way it was on capital crime for a lot of years. I mean, except fucking murder.
Yeah, but I mean rape,
Or is it fucking statute limit? Well, if she didn't come forward in 7 years, evidently wasn't that fucking bad.
but that's what they were saying, and this is what fucked me up, is that they were saying that survivors can take up to 10 years to realize that they were victim. Now listen to the
That's
wording there, to realize.
aha.
Aha,
That's
what?
brainwashing.
Yeah. Well, this lady also never had any allegations of Marilyn Manson until she got with this one, her girlfriend, her recent girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so I mean it was kind of just like it really seems put together. Manson is fucking suing both of them for or suing the bitch that made the documentary for fucking slander and then for there's a whole bunch of other shit too. They had
Listen,
false documents. He has proof that there was a letter from the FBI, Tony, a letter from the FBI that they got caught fucking forging because he I don't know how they did it, but they intercepted text messages between these two bitches. And it was the letter from the FBI. So these two bitches are being sued, and part of the evidence is them forging a letter from the FBI. I don't know how criminal that is.
listen, dads out there, dads that may listen to this later on. It is your responsibility to teach your daughter that if she is raped, the rest of her time afterwards is spent killing that motherfucker.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, there was even that guy, you remember that guy? He fucking fuck, I gotta look up the documentary to get the names again. But that guy that shot him, shot the other guy that raped his daughter, fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
I would have done that.
Yeah, he was friends with the cops and he was like waiting. They were taking him to an airport to take him to the state that he was getting tried in or whatever the fuck. And the dad was waiting by one of the phone booths in a baseball cap. Fucking,
I've
if
seen
any,
that.
yeah, no, I just can't remember the names, man. Fuck. But yeah, and then the dad just fucking popped him. Cops are all like, Daryl, what did you do? Or whatever his name was. I can't remember. Yeah,
Spared,
Killing Strangers was good too.
spared a fucking little person I love the indignancy of having to go through what she'd have to go through in a trial.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Now it's a
anybody raped one of my daughters, I found out about it, I'd killed that fucker no matter what.
yeah. This was actually a conversation that we were having a while ago, me and the wife, and so this was her argument. If I obviously I agree with you. So if I go out and kill them, then I'm making the kid deal with getting raped and having to lose a father figure. I think that she's
That's
gonna.
only if you're stupid.
Yeah, don't get caught.
Yeah, there you go.
first off, don't get caught.
You
Uh,
take this motherfucker out to your buddy's hog farm
yeah, that'll work. Yeah, if
and
you got a buddy with a
shove his
hog farm,
you shove his fucking head down into pig shit before you shoot him.
acid, man, acid. I'm
Then
telling you guys.
toss him in the pen of hogs and tell the buddy that you'll buy him a beer.
I haven't told everybody how to make battery acid into sulfuric acid yet, but that's for another show.
Well, let's do that Friday.
Yeah.
Getting away with.
Getting away
I'm
with
serious.
homicide.
No.
Whoa.
Getting away with shit.
We could
Let's
talk
do a
more about it then.
tongue-in-cheek thing, sort of, about how to do things that.
Let's
Let's see. How do I want to say this?
I say sulfuric acid gets rid of everything, man. Like have a fucking 5-gallon bucket of that shit hanging around constantly, and you'll be fine.
It's like taking a extremely coarse rubbing compound and soaking your fucking gun brush in and running it through the fucking barrel. Damn, it's the same twist rate, but none of the markings are right.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. So it did come from a Glock. We know that. But yeah, I don't know. First rule of Dexter's
That's
code.
fucking humor, people.
First rule of Dexter's code: don't get caught. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a good code to have. I was kind of disappointed with the new Dexter, but you know, it was good until the end. Did you catch the new Dexter?
No,
You don't care
I
about
never
that
caught
shit,
the
huh?
old Dexter.
Yeah. It stopped really being good for me after season 4.
I mean, after watching Hannibal Lecter helping the cops out in Silence of the Lambs and the various follow-ups,
That's where you got it all wrong.
a TV show just ain't cut.
That's where you got it wrong. You're cutting in and out, Tony. I don't know if it's me.
How's that?
You're good now. That was good.
Well, I'm not really drifting from the microphone, so I don't know.
I don't know what it is. But
I suppose I could be turning my head, which is probably enough to do it. These fuckers are pretty sensitive.
what I do know is that you're wrong about Dexter, though, because he's not fucking helping the cops with anything. He is a serial killer disguised as a forensic investigator. Or a
Which would be helping the fucking cops.
blood splatter expert. He doesn't help the cops because he's fucking the one that's doing the fucking murders and fucking putting it on other people.
Oh, hell, I didn't catch that part.
And he's finding other serial killers while he's doing his job to find more victims for himself. Because he only kills serial killers.
This is entertainment today, and we wonder why people are fucking shooting schools and supermarkets.
Hey, I fucking watched it. I don't shoot
Sick,
anybody.
twisted bastards like you that are causing all this fucking shit.
Speaking of which, how long does it take for a non-psychopath person to mourn?
I can't.
Can't answer that. I'm done
No,
in about an
honestly.
hour.
Honestly, I don't mourn.
Yeah.
I really occasionally question my own mental status on that one because I have not ever been one that mourns.
I'm weird with death. I don't know. I'm thinking that okay, if there's a fucking heaven and all that shit, that they're in a better place. Even if there's nothing, it's just blackness. It's like you're asleep anyway. So I mean, you're in a better place. Just
That's
just ain't dreaming.
sort of where I'm at. I talked about this with my dad. I said, look, the thing is that any true believing Christian should not fear death, nor should they really be mourning the loss of others because according to what you believe, you are in the place you wanted to be.
Yeah. As long as there ain't any fucking news programs in hell, send me anywhere than fucking here. I'll be fine. After I die. While I'm alive, I'm
Oh,
just gonna stay here.
well, when you get into hell, there'll be a Today Show that's hosted by Hillary Clinton, and she's backed up by Kamala Harris.
And she doesn't
With
wear
that,
any panties, and she keeps doing the basic instinct.
yeah, and AOC will be doing what? Weather, sports.
Weather, she's probably the weather girl. AOC, hey, listen, I'd give AOC the business.
As long as you can duct tape her fucking face shut.
Oh, she ain't gonna be talking politics when she's with me. I'll tell you that right
I
now.
don't think politics would matter. Talking is the problem.
She ain't gonna talk at all. She's gonna fucking after I'm done with her, she's gonna be too busy making fucking food for me to fucking listen to what the fuck she's talking about. The
You're
first
assuming,
words as soon as I fucking come, the first words out of my mouth are I'm hungry. I don't give a fuck
yeah.
who you are, wife, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever. You fucking, hey, whore, a prostitute.
You're assuming though that the bitch can make a sandwich.
I don't. Hey, listen, you better whip something up. I know your mom taught you some shit. I don't give a fuck if I get a bowl of fruit or some bowl of strawberries. Bring them on.
I'm still waiting for Pondery to get that thought about his favorite fucking judge down there.
Ooh, Sotomayor.
No, no, some local leftist bitch that got in on straight ticket stuff. She just got fucking like,
Yeah, the
and
engine.
apparently she's kind of an idiot. I don't know. I have not done any research on the lady at all.
Yeah.
I've only heard what I've heard through Sean. God, we just killed a half fucking hour with nothing. Pretty good.
I would argue
Make
that
a
we
fucking
killed.
show out of this.
I would argue that we killed almost an hour of nothing because you're talking about the kids for like 30 minutes
I,
too.
I would never ever say my kids were nothing.
Well, yeah, but with no topic, would you consider them a topic?
I'm not kind of trying to think of how the fuck I got into that in the first place.
We were talking about beating our kids or beating kids.
Yes, always beat your children, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not too much. You have to have
Ah,
the proper amount. But you really, really, honestly, truthfully here, no bullshit aside, you have to teach them that there's consequences, action, and they're unpleasant consequences for bad action.
yeah.
It ain't hard to figure out,
It's the stove is hot theory.
pretty much. And my number 3 can attest to the oatmeal on the stove being hot. She got scarred by that.
Mm,
She's lucky. I was kind of freaked out and I had to go to work, or she got beat for climbing on the stove, regardless of being burnt on her arm really bad.
do you?
And yes, I'm serious. She would have got a spanking.
So I was gonna do this YouTube video. Can you survive a headshot?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Fucking
The
look at all the
Gabby
soldiers
Gifford.
from World War One. Yeah, oh shit, that's a fucking Holocaust right there.
Okay, so this is a part 2 to my
Oh
previous
shit.
video,
Let's
Anatomy of a
do it.
Headshot. It's not
I shouldn't
required that
say
you
that
watch it,
because
but
that's
it would definitely make this video a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah.
psychotic, maybe
A little.
implying that I wish she would have been killed.
Yeah, you're
I
a
wish,
psychopath. We know that, Tony. You're a
I wish,
psychopath.
I wish she wouldn't have been shot. You know,
Yeah, a tractor would have done a much more efficient job.
I much prefer the Steve Scalise aftermath than her, because he's more like fucking.
Yeah, she's like fucking. I feel like she's one of those. If you were to like be carrying and she saw that you were carrying, she would do one do one of those
Oh yeah,
for sure. She for sure. Um, she's
you know,
not a good,
I
not a
don't.
smart person, I would say.
Instead of jumping on the bandwagon of violating Second Amendment rights, why don't we get on the bandwagon of how do we help these mentally disturbed cocksuckers?
Lena,
And you know, you could take them out and shoot them. That's kind of Hitlerish, but it is effective.
it does solve a fucking problem. Lena Hidalgo.
Oh yeah, and on that school shooting thing, he wasn't a white guy.
Wait, what is she? Is she a Democrat?
She's a lib judge.
Lena Maria Hidalgo is an American politician in the state of Texas. She's the only judge of Harris County, the third most popular, first woman, first Latina, American, Democratic Party. Yeah, okay, you're right.
No, notice they don't say first dumbass.
I think I love her.
You would.
I think I love her.
From what I gather, the kid that did that school shooting is Hispanic, Mexican maybe. I mean, it's Texas, so
they're all
you're
cousins
kind
in
of roll.
Texas.
I was gonna say you're fucking dice there, whether he's Mex or Korean.
They're all cousins out there. Oh, she's got on an Astros jersey. I think we're
What's
gonna
she look
have
like?
fantastic. I'm not showing it. Oh no, I'm not. Dang it. Sorry, guys. Here, give you some of my POV over here. Show you guys the reason why the show's ending early.
Jimmy and the Jerkins.
Jimmy and the Judge jerking. Yeah, she's my favorite
Jurgens.
judge. She's my new favorite judge, Sean. Sorry if you don't like her. We all
Jergens by the hand moisturizer grease, you know. Not jerkin.
Jergens.
Well, jerkin is what the hand moisturizer is for, but I digress.
Yeah. Yeah, we just found my next ex-wife.
Maybe you just should stay where you're at and save yourself all that hassle.
She seems like she'll be a fun ride.
Can you imagine the conversations that pop up when somebody who's a leftist, anti-gun person sits across the table from where you're cleaning up your guns?
Imagine the menudo and how good it's gonna be. A little sour cream in there.
I don't know. I don't see it.
You don't see it? It's not on the screen? She's the one
No.
in the green with the tits.
All I see green is a snake.
Oh, how is it? I'm looking at it on my YouTube. Wait, do please take her out of here. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, no, we'll live in Texas in a mansion with all your guys' guns in our safe.
Hold on, I get it. YouTube's a fucking minute behind.
I'll help her take all the guns as long as they're going into our safe.
You're turning into a fucking typical hypocritical leftist. Cocksucker.
Hey, listen.
You heard it here first. Jimmy said he'd help her take guns as long as he can keep his own.
No, as long as I can keep all of theirs. I bet you there's some really cool guns in Texas. Oh
Very
shit.
green. I wouldn't fuck her with your dick.
Oh please, stop your lies.
I'm not lying.
I'm trying to find a fucking. I'm trying to find a seductive picture, but she doesn't take any sexy pictures.
No shit.
I'll go on fucking Pornhub
Now
and
the
search
chick
Lena
standing,
Hidalgo.
the chick that was standing beside her, the
the
brown color.
the Crypt Keeper?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Crypt Keeper one. The one that has the bone structure of the Crypt Keeper and a raptor. I'm starting to
Like,
think that Tony only likes old ladies.
that woman ain't that old.
She look at her neck. You could count the rings on her neck. That's how you know how old she is. It's like a tree. Oh, a little sitting down POV. It's firm. It's firm, Tony.
Should you got that picture up with the title under "Run for Something"? I would be more like "Run from Something."
I was like, look when she's got her little curly hair.
I'm surprised you
for
find her attractive. I don't think she is.
Yeah, she's one of those little bitches. I like that. Little bitches with big, huge, fat titties.
Oh, okay. Then have you look up and see her face?
No, I won't have to.
Okay.
She's gonna constantly be in makeup. That's cool. Do that. This is only gonna be a fling. I would probably go back to my wife after
I
this.
thought you said your next ex-wife.
I would probably go back to my wife after this. I don't think I would keep her as a wife.
Of course, that probably would depend on muscle control.
Yeah, right. Hey, yeah. Her pussy might be worth it. It might be worth it. I like
Now,
to
see
do Kegels and make menudo for my boyfriend, Jimmy. Jimmy.
that
She does look like
that
she's
picture of
90.
her,
I'm listening.
that one picture that was just up, which was probably a minute ago to you. She was in kind of a brown or maroon. But it still take a bottle of whiskey to get me in there.
I'll drink some tequila for that. I'll drink some tequila off of that.
I would have to have the tequila to get in that.
Oh no, I'll just use lube. They're looking off in the distance, wondering what she's gonna cook for me.
She's gonna hide your body after she sucks all the use out of you.
Yeah, right. Hey, she's really 100 years old. She's a fucking vampire like Hillary. Hillary's probably in her thousands. We already
She
know the queen is over 3,000 years old.
she laughs. It turns into the most frightening witch cackle you've ever heard.
I've caught you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, probably. No, don't date politicians, guys. Don't even try. What else
Well,
do
there
we got?
was a point right in the very early time that I would have considered Sarah Palin.
Oh, yeah, don't you know?
Just because of curiosity.
You're talking about AOC and this bitch being annoying fucking.
Well, this was early on before I realized that she was actually kind of a dick.
Oh,
I mean, really early on, she sounded sharp.
you can see Russia from the mountains in Minnesota.
No, goddamn, she didn't say that. I could see Russians from my house, and she probably could.
What the fuck ever? She still said some dumbass shit.
I mean, she's like fucking 60 or 70 miles from Russia. Mountain and some binoculars. I can see Russia from here.
Yeah, good for her.
But
Oh.
now, just be honest.
Mhm.
Very early on, before McCain nominated her, or picked her, or whatever the fuck you call it, when she first appeared on the scene and the whispers were coming that she might be, didn't you have some attraction there? 'Cause
Oh,
she's an attractive woman then.
Tony, I would fuck her right now. I don't care about this fucking politician, how they speak and how they talk shit. I don't give a fuck.
Well, see, my thing is back then I was curious, and on several or several levels of aspect, but now I'm not because she's a dingbat, and she's also extremely self-serving, which is should be a given with any politician because that's what they're doing.
Can she suck a dick, though? The question always comes down to
Well, she got to be the Republican vice presidential candidate, so obviously,
yeah. Oh, yeah, I worked the balls. I don't know how Minnesotans talk, but yeah. I worked the balls and the shaft. That turned into a little Ireland there, but that's okay.
suck the chrome off a trailer hitch.
Is it me or as she aged, her fucking boobies shrunk?
I don't know. Could have.
This little pink outfit isn't flattering on her chest.
I mean, it's not as much shrunk as it is just fell.
Oh yeah, they might be under her forearm.
Or hanging around her fucking waist.
T-
Exceptionally flat but long.
tucked into her girdle. I got a girdle. I just bought a girdle. It's not really a girdle. It's boxer shorts. A $20 pair of boxer shorts. Fucking yeah, they're snug. I only wear them when I work out though.
Obviously, you really ain't holding together too bad.
Nah, she's fucking yeah. She's doing great. She's doing way better than I am, and she's like twice my age.
No shit. I look like I'm fucking dead most of the time. And have been for a few days.
What is she right now? 60? I couldn't fuck her right now. I might hurt her hips or something. And you know
That's
what
what
they
I'm talking
say.
about. Back when she was in office, when she was actually probably fairly fit and strong.
Oh yeah.
You're thinking this bitch lives where they can wrestle bears. What can you get into with that?
Yeah, she's getting flung around the bedroom, that's for sure. That
Well, I
is
said curiosity.
yeah.
And she's
see?
a politician, so she's going to be discreet. Or at least you thought so until you found out she's a dipshit.
AOC is going to be coming up on the screen in about a half a second, and it's not a flattering picture at all. You're telling me that you wouldn't take that down? Or allow her to take you down? Red dress, little ponytail. Yeah, what Sexy said. He says Tony admitted to being tri-curious.
No.
I don't think so either.
That bitch looks too much like Ruth Buzzy.
I don't care. I could almost see her nipples. I'm cool with that.
All right, speaking of nipples, that's a good segue into something else.
Yeah, we love nipples here at
What
the
the
New
fuck
Watch.
is up with this goddamn baby food shortage, formula shortage?
Didn't we already cover that Monday? But yeah,
Did Did we hit the Biden flying the shit in?
Yes.
Okay, sorry guys.
Yeah.
Problem of being old, I don't remember that shit.
But yeah, you're right though. It is still a
Ladies,
topic.
ladies, those breasts were designed for that fucking purpose first. Well, maybe attracting the guy to put the baby in feed with them, but
Yeah.
their main function on you is to feed kids,
I mean, yeah, but that's it's
and the kids ain't allergic to that.
but it's still even that though. It's like within the span of a lifetime, you're barely gonna ever use them for that. You're gonna use them more for like guys sucking on them than kids
All
sucking
right,
on them.
let me ask you this:
I'm
would
listening.
you rather your old lady suckle your infant child to her breast, or be out there driving for 8 hours trying to find a can of formula?
Oh no, yeah, feed the kids with the tits for sure. I'm just saying that majority of their life is gonna be spent with male or female, depending on how they go, sucking on their tits than a kid. They're gonna
I'm
have a
waiting to hear the
partner.
first.
What?
I'm waiting to hear the first chick to pipe up and say that she has been with her lover while lactating.
You mean to speak up and say that they did it? Probably none, but I
Yeah,
know. I'll tell you what. I know that I've drank some titty milk in my life, so it happens.
I already said I did.
Yeah, I already did too, but I didn't know if you remembered or not.
Hey, I got in there before the kid did because she started lactating like a week before, and it was actually kind of funny because when I discovered it, I was amused and I started squirting. Like this, I'm fucking 19, 20 years old. I'm a fucking idiot. So pissed her off too.
Oh yeah, they don't like it. They don't like you playing with them titties. That titty milk. It's like a scooter. Whether they're ugly as or hot as heck, they're all fun to ride until your friends and family find out. Yeah,
The
booby milk. No, I disagree with that.
it's I was gonna say it may be good for the kid, but tastes good? No, it does not.
Gross. It made me realize how fucking horrible kids were because they could eat that. Anything that could eat that shit has to be born a demon. It made me believe in original sin again.
Especially the first starting in lactation because it's got all that for brand new babies stuff in it to make them live. It ain't good for an adult that's looking to die. God, this new kid let me out of here. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Sean, who fucking didn't have a thing for Monica Bellucci? The Matrix? I don't know. I guarantee you, if I could find the original VHS from The Matrix when I was a kid, the scene where she showed up and fucking all that shit and then kissed Neo and all that shit, I guarantee you there's like the film on the inside of the cassette tape is rubbed out on that area from how many times I rewound it and played it back and played it in slow motion and then tried to zoom in on it and on her tits and all that. Yeah, Monica Bellucci from when I was a child. She's like one of my child fantasies, and she's like 6 feet tall. I'm like
Uh,
5'7", 5'5", 5'7".
who was she? I'm not.
She was the bitch from the Matrix. Hang on. Oh, hang on, Tony. You're in for a treat. I don't know how she looks now. You might not be in for a treat. Oh, she aged for sure.
Later, gunmetal dude.
Later, gunmetal guy. Wait, he said bye.
Said he's off to work. Oh no, he said he's off work today. Sorry, misunderstood that. Fuck you.
Oh, he's debating a range day.
I
Yeah,
would, but it's fucking rainy here, and the gun range is 25 miles away.
if the weather is permitting, I would fucking go. Hell yeah.
Gas is 4.80 something a gallon here.
So she didn't age well. I wouldn't give her the time of day now. Sarah Palin definitely aged better than her. She's 57, but this is her back then. It'll show up in a second. She was the bitch in the Matrix. Yeah, the 90s was definitely her time. 2020s, not so much.
Fuck, I thought her name was Sophie something.
You're thinking about you're thinking about the Mexican. Sophie fucking whatever, the one that kind of looks like a guy.
No, I was thinking about the chick in Braveheart,
Oh,
the queen.
wait, that was her?
I don't know. I thought it was.
I'm not seeing any pictures of it, so I'm thinking that it's wrong. If the internet doesn't say it, then it probably didn't happen. No, she wasn't in Braveheart.
That wasn't her. They looked a lot alike.
Oh, no, you're right, it was Sophie Marceau. They do look a lot alike. Oh, look at, they're like lesbians. Almost. He's talking about Vergara. Nah, he wasn't talking about Vergara. He was talking about this bitch coming up right now. Sophie Marceau. Yeah. Thanks, Pottery. But we figured it out. All I had to do was type in Monica Bellucci and Braveheart. So obviously Tony is not the only person that thinks fucking these two look alike. All of Google does as well. Maybe they're sisters.
I would have liked to have got between them at the point. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. Been on the ground somewhere or somewhere over here in the middle of this right here.
I wouldn't have been so picky about where.
Anywhere would do.
Big pile of straw, hay. That's fine.
They'd have to take a shower if they wanted any butt stuff. Oh Lord. What else do we got here? Look up the lady that played Elvira. Oh, we all know Elvira. I still got Elvira locked into my fucking bank, my memory bank right here. Tony's fucking
That
thinking
was.
about Elvira right now too.
She never did anything for me.
You're not a huge you're an ass and leg guy? You're
Uh,
an ass man?
a little farther forward.
A pussy man? Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can't. But you don't see the pussy over the fucking clothes though. You got to be attracted to something before the pussy happens. Tell
You
me,
may not.
tell me face, and I'm gonna fucking scream. What do you mean? You just got done telling me about all these hot ladies, so obviously you think they're hot. You ain't seen none of their pussies, so what the fuck? What's hot
You don't
about them
know that
then?
I haven't.
I do know.
Actually, I much prefer uh, average proportion.
Whatever, man.
No huge ass, no huge tits, just
Fit,
you know,
taught,
shaped just like God intended the perfect woman to be.
taught, taught
Well,
like Eve.
the thing of it is I saw my grandmother's breasts by mistake once when I was about 6, and it was scarring. How what gravity does. I'm still wounded by that experience.
Yeah, my balls are almost down to my knees, and my dick barely made it mid thigh.
Yeah, right. Mid thigh to the fucking crap that's crawling on you.
90s Super Sandwich should be Sophie Marcos, Monica Bellucci, and Gina Gershon. And then you forgot about me as the pickle. Pickle Jim. I did that when I was going to collect them. I've thrown away collecting. I'm only going to own what I shoot and sell or trade everything. I mean everything. Yeah, I
I
did
don't
that.
know, man. I think that
I did it.
collecting is okay for some stuff.
It's just like anything else though. You got to have first of all the want. If you don't want to be a collector, you're not going to be a collector. If you're trying to force being a collector, it's going to suck anyway.
See,
You,
the collection that I have is for ornamentation.
you got to have the means
I like
too.
collecting art, but you know, pop art, cheap shit. You know, I want those revolvers and shit to the wall.
Yeah, but if you don't got the want or the means or both to fucking collect, then why do
Right,
it?
not collecting's just as fine.
Yeah.
I don't care, but I mean, you know, to have some guns that you have to not shoot is fine. You know, because I currently have 5 of them that I probably will never ever. 2 of them because they're dangerous to shoot. The other 3 because I just don't fucking give a shit.
I mean,
Why
don't
the
get
hell
me.
would I want to load black powder fucking revolver?
Yeah,
And
that
I
would
can just
be.
drop cartridges in a fucking regular revolver.
Yeah, that'd be redundant. But nonetheless, though, I mean, don't get me wrong. Having cool shit is cool. Don't get me wrong, and especially if you like the cool shit, that makes it even cooler. That adds to the value of the collection to you anyway.
I
But
mean, but
if you don't
the
have any
reason
interest in anything, what the fuck is the point?
the reason I say that is because in past conversations with Mad Sexy, I may have come across as being opposed to collecting. That's not the case.
Well, no, I
Um,
mean, you're technically a collector, sort of.
yeah, I each of the guns I got is part of my collection, and it was a mostly deliberate collection. A collection, yes.
You're not a
Uh,
psycho about it like some people that'll go and hunt things down and shit, Sean, you
well, yeah,
know?
I'm not trying to have every bolt action made from the inception bolt action gun. Uh,
Which is cool shit, by the way, and that is cool, but
I'm surprised somebody of Sean's age, and this is going to come out wrong, but his heritage. Although I guess his dad is a lifelong military man too, so I guess
yeah.
there is that. But it just he never struck me as somebody who would collect those.
Well,
I don't know why, but just wouldn't have been what I thought he collected.
and it's
Of
definitely
course, that
cool.
ain't the only.
Oh
I don't
no,
know what all he's got. He's got a bunch of shit.
I don't know, but I think we're doxing him too much on there. But yeah, it's
Well, I'm not
definitely
trying to dox whatever the fuck that means him any.
Docs is giving out their information so that people could find them in real life.
Yeah, I don't know his address. I put it out there, and I've not mentioned one thing that he has specific.
No, I know that. Me neither. But I'm just saying though, it's cool to have.
Hudson H9.
Yeah, that was regrettable probably, but
Not
nonetheless,
if it still works.
nonetheless. I mean, yeah, a gun is a gun. Nonetheless, having collections is cool.
Yeah.
Not having collections is cool.
Would would I collect stuff given money and space? Probably. I'd actually like to have
Hell yeah, Pottery. Go ahead.
one of every Remington 700 ever made, or of every model.
I
I
think
really
most of
like.
my I'm lying though. There's some guns that I can't talk about, but most of my like collectors shit, Sean, you'd be right. Yeah, but it's pretty much gone. Look, he says collectors rule. Jimmy sells, you buy from him. Jimmy buys, you sell to him.
The the main thing with the guns that I own now is that I have guns that I wanted for a purpose, and
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
that's I have those. I intend to keep them until I die, and I'm still trying to sort out how I want to pass them out because my soul is telling me to give them all to those 3 granddaughters, but
But your brain is saying Jimmy knows a lot about guns.
my brain is going to be fuck Jimmy. My brain's saying you've got 5 grandsons too, asshole.
Well,
So and the thing is I know that the youngest is still thinking about having more kids. So
you got to spread
you
the
know,
love.
I've already got to buy some extra guns for the 2 youngest granddaughters. I mean, for me to pass on to them when that
Right,
time
yeah,
comes.
of course.
And I've made that absolutely clear, Bill. I intend to do that. That would be my second reason for buying the Anaconda, is so that I can give it to number 2. First reason is because I want one. With the economy the way it is right now, the thought of getting more guns is out the window.
It's not the time to buy for sure.
Because, the Anaconda I want, but I really don't have any reason to put myself in a financial bind to have it. I've already got enough 44 Magnums to do what I need. And then some. So, while I may want the Anaconda, I want it because it is a gorgeous gun. Or it will be after I finish polishing, given what I've seen it all that great. I mean, the thing is if you've ever held a real honest to God vintage Python that is in really good shape, be it blued or be it nickel or stainless, or what it did.
Right.
Those guns fucking are. And it's kind of surprising they look so much better than Smith & Wesson when they're really similar. Something about the Colt is just over and above everything else. And every government cert I did for that job, I did with the guy's Python. The guns that I had in my hand shot really well. But, while I won't say that it's the prettiest gun ever made, it's the second. The 1875 Outlaw, 1858 Army, actually the Army's better. That is the prettiest gun ever made. To me.
I can't argue with you on that. Cannot argue with you with that.
The big difference between the 58 and the 75 is the octagon barrel, which I think looks better. But both those guns are gorgeous. And after that, then comes the Python. And the Anaconda looks like the Python or bigger. See, originally I wanted to buy a Python because I love the gun so much, but because I'm already into 44 so heavily.
It only makes sense.
And at the time I made the decision, I didn't have a 30. I do now, and I can load 38, so the Python is fine. I still want the Anaconda instead. You want the 75, right? You're not interested in the 58? Sean said that's his kryptonite wheel gun.
Oh.
I'm seriously considering buying a 45 Colt cylinder for my 58. It's like $230, turns it into a functional 45 Colt firearm.
No shit. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not, slick to use. You have to take the damn cylinder out and then screw the cap off and load it, pop the cap. But nobody would know I had it because that ain't, at the time I got those, that wasn't required for any government hoops. You could order it online and send it to your house.
To Friday. I'm just setting up fucking notes. We got Friday's gonna be a hell of a show. We got Pick a Woke video. We got that. Remember that woke video we watched with the racist landlord guy?
No.
Yeah, I got more of that.
Kate Beckinsale, circa, say, Van Helsing. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, Kate Beckinsale definitely aged gracefully too.
Yeah, she's done pretty good, but her in the Get Up for Van Helsing, oh my God, that was good.
Fuck the fucking Underworld.
Underworld was a little scary.
Click. Her get up and click when she had the little
I
fucking
have,
boxer shorts and a fucking tank top. That was pretty good.
I have a 629, 6-inch 629. That was the first of the Smiths that I bought. I bought it around the same time I bought my first Vaquero and I bought the Super Black Hawk Hunter a while earlier, like a month earlier. Then I went on the shopping spree, and the 629 was one of the first guns I got out of that. I got that. I think both the Outlaws at the same time. I got one Vaquero and the 44 rifle.
Yeah,
And
Sean.
then
Good.
I bought the two Outlaws just because they happened to have both of them. One was new, one was used. And they sold them to me as part of the deal. I think I paid $500 a piece, or it worked out that way. I didn't get any deal on it. And, you know, when I say used, it had one little ding in the stock, and otherwise you couldn't tell that it had ever been fired.
Sean was saying he wanted a 41 special cylinder to convert a Lamat like Ed Harris has in Westworld. I'll tell you, Sean, I had a Lamat one time when I was in Red Dead Redemption, and well,
Jesus.
I wasn't impressed. I'll tell you what, I wasn't impressed.
The
Barely used it.
the thing on the 629 is it was my 29. I went in there and I bought that because of Dirty Harry. But I was thinking in my mind that I would grab this 629, even though it cost more money than a used 29 they had right there with it. I would buy that because I could use it to hunt with without, worrying about it. Shit. My back of my thought process was deer hunting. And I got that thinking, hey, this is the best of both worlds. It's Dirty Harry's gun, but it's also stainless, so I can hunt with it. Don't worry about it. But I got it, and for a year, I'm looking at this gun saying, that ain't Dirty Harry's gun. The barrel's half too short. And I could see it. I swear to you, I sit here, I could look at that gun laying on my desk and see that it wasn't right. And I went and bought a 6.5-inch 29. I was completely content with those. I wouldn't have never traded that 629 in. That gun shoots really well. It actually carries fairly decent too. It's not ridiculously heavy like the Ruger. I mean, it's probably a pound lighter than the Ruger. But it wasn't right. It looked somewhat like Dirty Harry's gun, but you could tell that barrel wasn't long. And I know it's in my head, but nothing was going to make me happy with it unless I actually went and bought a 629 or a 29 and blue. because the stainless really didn't look right. And there's another gun for the wish list that would be for one of the grandkids. Is that 44 automatic? Yes, the 629 is exactly the same thing as the 29, except it's made out of stain. I mean, in the dark, it could feel exactly the same. I can't even tell any difference holding that half-inch barrel length. Don't make a difference as far as balance. It's probably what, a quarter of an ounce weight. You know, it's its own barrel because the sight's still on top of one of them. 629 has been worked on by Smith. It's that trigger job. Trigger is fucking incredible. It is absolutely noticeable from the 29 difference. You go out fucking around with that 629 for a few mags or geez, a few cylinders full of ammo through it, and then grab the 29 itself and you're like, what the fuck? This trigger isn't that great. It's a little bit gritty, it's heavier, and the brake is not clean. Now, it's still better than a lot of other guns I've had in my hand. Good trigger. The 629 is way better. The 629 is the first gun I've ever used that I understood the meaning of the brake surprising. Could not tell.
And this motherfucker's gonna break sometime. I just don't know.
There's absolutely no. Dude, there's absolutely no indication it's going to break.
Later, sexy. He says, remember, only whack it to the ugliest and stick it to the hottest. Words to live by. And Julia Roberts was cool with me until I found out she was one of them chicks that didn't fucking shave her armpits or wash her feet. Her and what was the other? Alanis Morissette. That always grossed me out. I don't like hairy armpit girls.
I'd stick my dick in their armpit.
I don't like it. And he carried the broom handle Mauser in RDR2. I was more of a volcanic guy. I liked me a volcanic.
I actually enjoyed watching some of that Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I should get back into it.
Them bad guys ain't worth a fuck with guns.
Nah. They got me sometime, a few times, but yeah, they pretty much sucked. It was like fighting a bunch of stormtroopers.
But you never made it to the whorehouse, so I lost interest.
I did. I took a bath. That's all you could do is take a bath, and then you have her fucking wash the inside of your right thigh, and it kind of looks like she's jerking you off for a second. You just keep doing that same animation over and over for a couple times, and it looks like she jerked you off in the tub. Which is gross. No one wants to be swimming around in their own cum.
Of course, you tried to work that out.
Yeah, well, I figured it out some kind of way. But yeah, that was a fun game. I should play that again. That's fucking better than all the games I got.
Back to the 629.
What?
What the old gun guys said that they liked was that the brake, when the trigger actually dropped the hammer, should surprise you.
See, I disagree with that.
And this 629 is the first gun I've ever had that did that. There's no way that you can identify it's about to break.
How should the brake surprise you? How does that tactically make any sense?
Well, if you figure on a lot of guns, let's take like Glocks.
Right.
Or the Smith & Wessons that carry, anything like that.
Right.
You can feel the spring loading up.
Yeah, it pulls back the firing pin. Well, it does, not kind of.
Right. There's none of that on the 629.
But still, on a revolver, even to take a revolver for example, you could fucking, as soon
I'm
as I,
talking specifically in single action here.
yeah, I am too.
There's no tell that that trigger's ever getting to a point that's going to release that hammer.
What does it got?
It
A lot of take
will,
up.
not really,
See, a
but
revolver in single action, that should be at the wall right there. As soon as you pull the trigger, that's when it breaks.
with like even the Ruger single actions, you can feel the brake coming.
Yeah.
You absolutely do not feel that on that 629.
I'm just trying to understand though. How is that a positive?
There's no uh, need to change any form of trigger pressure. Absolutely consistent.
So you do kind of know when it breaks after you got
No,
good with the gun, and after a while.
no. If
No.
I picked it up right now, I couldn't pull it up to the brake. Before I got to what I figured was the brake point, it'd go off. We ever get together, remind me, and I'll show you what, or let you feel what it is. It's
That'd be interesting. I'm kind
it's
because
fucking
that's,
surprising.
yeah. You kind of got my sparked my interest with that because it makes sense, but it doesn't.
The idea with it is not uh, that you don't feel the brake as much as it's just how damn smooth the system is. That's why it's so good. There's nothing that gives away that it's going to break. No grip, change in pull pressure.
I just opened up. Remember I was telling you about these fucking underwears, fucking the for to work out with and shit. They're called cockles. I just unwrapped them.
Girdle wear.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck you.
Well, we
You don't
you're
know
the one
me.
that said it was a girdle.
Technically, I mean that's what it's called on Amazon, but fuck you anyway. What were you gonna say? Make it good, cause I'm gonna wrap this motherfucker up, man. We're over time right now.
That until you get the opportunity to fuck with one of those that is that good, it's really impossible to understand what the fuck they're talking about.
But
You know,
you don't
some
find
guys,
so you don't find it as a negative then. It doesn't bother
no,
you.
hell no. The trigger's clearly better.
I'm just trying to understand how is not knowing when your gun's gonna go off a positive to feeling
It
the fucking when it's about to break.
it ain't so much you don't know
Well, obviously
because
you know
when you
because it's got
pull
to be a full force trigger pull every time.
you you pull the trigger, but you can't feel the break. Some of them say it's like breaking glass. You know,
So is it
glass is
you know it's about to break, but you just don't feel it?
you can't feel it.
But you know.
Yeah,
Here's the
it's not like it's
point.
shocking the fuck out of you.
Oh, okay. I see now that makes a little bit more sense to me. I think I was looking at it differently.
What they're saying is that should come as a surprise. You shouldn't have any indications on the trigger finger that that's going to happen.
I 100% get what you're saying. So it's like a smooth pull all the way through.
Yeah.
That's kind of that yeah, I'm definitely interested now. I don't know if that's worth a ticket to Illinois, but you,
Well,
you sparked my
kind
interest for sure.
it's kind of fortunate here because I have both examples. I have the stock example and then one that's been done, and they're clearly different. And they're the same mechanism. 629, the same gun.
Yeah, but you could tell the difference in that trigger though.
Oh fuck yes, you.
That's where I don't think I've ever shot a gun where it's just a smooth pull all the way through. There's always a you know what I mean, or there's always something to let me know
You can tell
I'm
there's
about to
quite a
hit a
difference.
wall. Yeah.
You can tell there's quite a difference firing double too.
What's double? Is double action just a smooth pull too?
Yeah, but it's really heavy.
Like heavier
Okay.
than usual?
No,
Like
no, it's
about between
probably
like 10 or 12 pounds?
probably somewhere around 8.5, 9.
Hmm. But it's not like it's a different weight every time. So it's
No,
you know when your gun's going off, but metaphorically speaking, you're not
what it
supposed to be able to tell that you've hit it's about to break.
what it is that there's no giveaway in the trigger, such as it stacking up or grittiness or anything like that. That it's going to just break.
Mike put it together right. He knows how to speak to my stupid brain right there. There's no staging the trigger. He says his Taurus
Well, in
85 is like that.
single action revolvers, there isn't any real staging anyway. I mean, it's you pull the trigger, it moves the touch, and
Yeah.
it
You're
goes off.
That's what I'm saying. When you're in single action, you already hit the trigger already hit the wall.
Right. But there is a absolute difference between the two breaking.
Hmm.
It, you know, it was a shock to me that I didn't understand until I bought the 29, because I really thought that the 629 was just how the Smith and Wesson is.
Yeah, right.
I knew it was smooth, but I didn't realize that it was that much smoother than just the stock. Because I thought the stock ones were really good, but slicked up ones are really better.
No shit, huh?
I wish the fuck I knew exactly what was involved in doing it so I could do it myself.
Polishing the mechanism. There's got to be more to it than that.
I don't know. This one went to Smith and Wesson and had it done. And so far as the gun shop told me, there was no spring changes in it. Just cleaned the mechanism
Hmm.
because they said they thought the guy was using the gun in competition and couldn't alter. Can't, polishing stuff's one thing, but replacing springs was another, unless replace with another stock.
Oh, you
But
can't do that in competition?
I don't know that to be true.
Well, how would they even know anyway? They take apart your fucking revolver before you fucking start the competition?
Test trigger pull weight.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, that's just what the dude at the gun shop said, and this is not the guy that I normally dealt with, so I don't know that he wasn't full of shit. I know the trigger had been done. I knew it was done by Smith. The owner told me that. The weights are not that much different from what I can tell. The 29 that's not done feels considerably dirtier, which is kind of a shame because I think if I didn't have that 629, I wouldn't notice how rough 29 is. Because it's still really good.
Yeah,
It,
I mean those both are guns where you could actually like say they don't make them like they used to type shit.
these are the 29 is fairly new. I mean, I think it's years old or something, but they had it laying in the fucking back room for years because they bought a bunch of them.
Mm.
And they would only put them out one at a time until full. They thought maybe they'd just have one there. Plus the space. They lock up guns. They don't want to put 6 Smith and Wesson 29s out. They have space and
Yeah,
other shit.
that is true. That is true because I mean, it's not I don't necessarily, well, maybe not, because I don't want to say it's a niche market, but I mean, there's more people out there that would be buying Glocks and fucking semi-autos than, yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, even the Smith semi-auto stuff, shields and that kind of thing
Yeah, yeah.
were more valuable using shelf. And this gun shop was successful. Money wasn't a problem. Didn't hurt them to buy a dozen or 2 dozen, you know, what Street value would have been about $1,000 guns. Put them back,
Mm.
sit on them for years. Because now they're selling the 29 for $1,000. Can't find them from anybody else for 1,200 because they bought them so long ago and got no money. They don't have the increased prices built, and they're still sticking them one at a time out.
Oh yeah.
Actually, the new ones went up because this one was the last one they had in the batch. They had bought like 5 years before.
Now what if they got two people looking at one, they'll go in the back and get another one if there's two
Yeah,
buyers, right? Yeah, okay.
yeah, they don't hide it. They'll flat tell you they got them. They just don't want to take up the shelf space with them. They aren't being devious about it. It's their best use of their display space. They're a fairly good sized gun, although there's others. They're putting in goddamn 460s out there. Those things are fucking massive. 500. So, I never felt there was anything. I just think the way these people are. But I don't know about people who work for them, which was what the guy told me about the 629 trigger stuff.
Mm.
Beyond the owner telling me that he had sent it done, or the owner had owner of the gun, not the gun shop. And he may have had the gun shop send in. I don't know. They say that. I'm assuming probably they did because that's how he could positive went to Smith Wesson.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you gotta. Even when you're a store, you gotta make money. We got viewers dropping off and all that. I think it's time to call it a day.
One last thing.
What?
There was a period where Smith and Wesson would come to reasonably active Smith and Wesson dealers and do that shit for free.
What?
They would do trigger jobs, just polishing triggers and shit. Send a fucking truck and trailer, and they would set up out in the parking lot, and that may have been how this got. Don't know. But good day, everybody.
Hey, what am I gonna do with all of these fucking videos? Should I put them on that channel that nobody's subscribed to and then tell everybody to subscribe to it or something?
Which video?
Every single one of these shows that we've been doing since it's July. Since let's say July.
Yeah, why not? Why are you?
I'm running out of space on my computer and I want to get rid of everything.
You better invest in fucking storage.
Fuck that. I got YouTube.
Like, no. I mean, like a hard drive or something, so you can have them. Because if we ever get to where we think YouTube's going to take us, all that shit's going to disappear.
Yeah, it'll be good to have them all saved and shit.
Yeah, no shit though. Because the guy I listen to before we do these, he lost his, and he had lost like 600 videos.
Yeah. I'll figure something out.
Yeah, but move them around, and you could put them on a private channel.
I could also probably just buy a USB and put a bunch of them on there. I gotta get like a 2 terabyte. That ain't that bad, I don't think. I think they're about like $50 maybe.
Right, you're not wanting to use it to watch the shit anyway. You just want to have a backup.
Like, hey, I got all these and they're saved.
Probably quicker to move them to another site if we ever go that route too.
Nice Strike said he has the fucking early watch earlywatch.org or .com or something like. I think it's .com actually. You got the earlywatch.com still up.
I ought to go look that up sometime.
Yeah, the last time I was on there, one person visited, and I think it was me.
I was gonna say it wasn't me.
I'm pretty sure it was me visiting at that time. But I don't know. We'll figure something out for sure. It's not a big deal anyway.
That's why I always have such a hard on for us staying on YouTube. People can't find our shit at all.
It's archived for as long as YouTube will allow us to be archived for. It's archived. I remember the days that I used to just be able to put you guys got me talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, so I'm reinstalling it into my PlayStation, and it's going to take 63 minutes to install it. By that time, I'm not even going to want to play it anymore. Remember the days where you could just put in a video game and it played it?
Yeah.
And not no more. For the most impatient fucking time period that we've ever been in as fucking Americans, this
You know,
is
the last
bullshit.
video game that I was into
What?
was Zelda.
Zelda. Oh yeah, Link.
The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
I think
Link
that's
is,
what it's
Link is the character.
Yeah, Link is a character. I beat that game. And fucking absolutely lost interest in doing it.
Like
I think it was
never again.
I think it was luck because I beat it really quick. I mean, like I had played with the thing like a day and a half. You know, not all day, but over a day and a half period, I played it 3 or 4 times, and I had beat the fuck. You know, this was fun, but my back hurts now.
Alright, we're getting the fuck out of here. Have a
Good
good
day,
day.
everybody, for the 3rd time.
Yep. Watch your ass.
Watch that kitty.
You're watching the NWP podcast. You're watching the new one live. You're watching the NWP podcast.